a graphics card so powerful it redefined gaming when it hit the shelves, a titan that laughed in the face of 4K and 8K demands. But now, whispers of new challengers and a successor loom large. Can the RTX 4090, NVIDIA's crown jewel, hold its throne for another generation? Or is its time running out? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this beast's past, present, and future to find out. When the RTX 4090 launched, it wasn't just a graphics card. It was a statement. Built on NVIDIA's Ada Lovelace architecture, it packed a monstrous 16,384 CUDA cores, 128 third-gen ray tracing cores, and 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X VRAM. This thing chewed through Cyberpunk 2077 with ray tracing cranked to the max and spat out buttery smooth frame rates in Elden Ring like it was child's play. At the time, nothing could touch it. Not AMD, not even NVIDIA's own previous lineup. It was the undisputed king. But that crown came with a catch, a steep price tag north of $1,500 and stock so scarce you'd think it was a collector's item from day one. For many, it was a dream just out of reach. But for those who snagged it, it delivered performance that felt like a glimpse into the future. Fast forward to now, and the plot thickens. AMD's been busy, rolling out cards like the RX 7900 XT and XTX to shake things up. These contenders bring solid ray tracing chops and performance that's nothing to scoff at, especially for the price, around $999 for the XTX. They're leaner, meaner, and aimed squarely at NVIDIA's mid to high tier, like the RTX 4080. But against the 4090, they don't quite land the knockout punch. Then there's the RX 9070 XT, a newer kid on the block with 4096 stream processors and 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. It's a champ at 1440p and can muscle through 4K, but it's not built to slug it out with the 4090's raw horsepower. My take? AMD's playing a smart game, focusing on value over brute force, but they're still a step behind in the top-tier ring. The 4090's throne isn't shaking just yet. So, how does the champ hold up today? Let's talk numbers and real-world grit. In benchmarks, the RTX 4090 still flexes its muscles like a seasoned prizefighter. Pull up Cyberpunk 2077 with full ray tracing and DLSS 3, and it's pushing frame rates that leave the RX 7900 XTX in the rearview mirror, sometimes by 20 to 30% at 4K. Older titles? It's overkill in the best way, delivering triple-digit FPS without breaking a sweat. That's the magic of its tech. DLSS 3 upscaling and ray tracing prowess, that's a cut above. Sure, AMD's closing the gap with better drivers and ray tracing tweaks, but the 4090's got a secret weapon. Its sheer power keeps it relevant, even as the competition heats up. I'd argue it's still the gold standard for anyone chasing max settings without compromise. But here's where the story gets juicy. The future's knocking, and it's wearing an RTX 5090 badge. NVIDIA's next big thing, rumored to drop with the Blackwell architecture, is a beast in waiting. 21,760 CUDA cores, 32 gigabytes of GDDR7 VRAM, and a promise of double the 4090's performance thanks to DLSS 4. Double. Let that sink in. If those rumors hold, this isn't just an upgrade. It's a revolution that could make the 4090 look quaint by comparison. And there's more. NVIDIA's reportedly pulling the plug on 4090 production this October. Stock's already thin, and prices might climb as scalpers and collectors swoop in. Suddenly, the king's not just facing a new rival, it's facing retirement. My gut says this shift will hit hard and fast, especially for early adopters who thought they'd future-proofed their rigs. So, the million-dollar question, is it time to ditch the 4090? Depends on who you are. If you're a bleeding-edge enthusiast, someone rendering 8K animations or gaming at resolutions most monitors can't even handle, the 5090's siren call might be too loud to ignore. That kind of power isn't just tempting, it's a game changer for pros and hardcore gamers alike. But here's my 2 cents. For 90% of us, the 4090's still a titan worth keeping. It's got legs for years, especially with software updates that could squeeze even more life out of it. I've seen it handle everything I throw at it. AAA titles, VR, even some light 3D modeling, and it doesn't flinch. Compare that to AMD's value-driven lineup, and sure, the RX 7900 XTX is a steal, but it's a side grade, not an upgrade. The 4090's staying power feels personal to me. It's a card that doesn't just keep up, it sets the pace. Let's wrap this up. The RTX 4090 stormed onto the scene as a legend, and even now it's holding its ground against scrappy newcomers like AMD's best. But the RTX 5090 looms like a storm cloud, ready to steal the spotlight with power that's frankly absurd. If you've got a 4090, you're still sitting pretty. There's no rush to jump ship unless you're obsessed with the bleeding edge. If you don't, maybe wait and see what the 5090 brings, or snag a deal on AMD's lineup if value's your vibe. Me? I'm still in awe of what the 4090 pulls off. It's not just a card, it's a legacy. But every king's reign ends eventually, and this one's clock is ticking.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.